This is Lord Rick, and we're at the Sparks home. We did a little research on it, and as I gave you guys a prologue, but this is not a prologue. This is an actual investigation near Halloween night, and it is dark. What we're gonna do, let me turn on some lights here. I'm gonna set up a camera down in the whoa, there's boxes. I'm going to set up a camera in the basement and an EVP recorder. We're going to let it run for a bit, and then I'm going to come back and do an investigation with... Ugh, I hate that thing, man. It's scary. It scares me every time. We're going to do an investigation. I'll take some thermal readings, some Gauss readings, some EVPs, camera footage, and photography. So there's 5 elements to this investigation. I believe it's haunted. I've had some experiences, so has Tammy, and we'll talk about them when I do a second video. This is just the beginning of our investigation. I'll put it all together and give you guys a room-by-room rundown. And I'll tell you guys some stories about this house. It's really a haunted house. And I've seen some strange video footage. There are cameras in here, and I've seen the cameras that Tammy has shown me in the video footage, because I know where each camera is, has revealed some things that I can't explain, such as the camera being moved in the basement. The camera stationary, yet it was moving back and forth, forward and back. But I'm going to start with my tripod, and we're going to find a place to set up the recorder. And then we'll go into more in depth about the hauntings that transpire here.
I don't think I remember that hole there.
Say somebody damage it with furniture. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it at an angle like this. I got to watch my head. The ceilings are low. This is a historical home. It's about to go on the National Registry of Historic Places. I also found 2 secret areas here, and I'll show you them. One area, look at that, goes underneath. I don't know where that goes, but it's creepy as hell. And another secret area is back here that goes under another part of the house. Let's see if I can fit back here. There we go. A little crawl space under the stairs. And I don't know why they don't seal those off or why they don't have those, but we're going to do a professional investigation. It's a perfect time of year. It's a crisp autumn night. And I'll keep you posted. We'll do, like I said, there'll be 5 elements to this. And then we're going to put it all together. This is also a place of nature. The grounds have flowers. Deer graze all day long. And I'm telling you, I've been here a few times, and every time I've almost had some weird experience. And so has Tammy, and so has her employees, and so has people who previously were at this home. So I'll be back. It's time to set up the cameras and go get myself a latte and get to work. Okay, we're going to let the camera fester here. We have 2 cameras in this room. I'm running an EVP recorder. I've already addressed the original builders or owners of the house. And we'll be back. And then I'll talk on camera when I come back, and we'll get into this investigation. So I'm just going to quietly skedaddle, and hopefully we'll get something. Leave this door open too, because I'm going to also do some filming in here.
You want me to leave the light on? Or?
Oh yeah, just leave things as it is.
Okay.
Because it won't film in the dark. Your camera. Okay. The investigation is about to begin. Now, the first few times that I've worked with this home was a prologue. Did a few walkthroughs, checked out the grounds, went to every room, inspected every nook and cranny, kind of got a feel for it. Even spent some time alone here. I have to say I've had some strange activity. Things, I was putting together a desk, and in the other room there was banging and noises. I heard a woman talking real loud, screaming, coming from this basement. It's a really haunted place. It's a really haunted house. And you guys are getting a treat. It's almost near Halloween. And usually near Halloween, we always try to do something special where we do some good paranormal investigations. This one's going to be heavily focused upon parapsychology. It's not Bigfoot or ufology or cryptozoology, but straight up parapsychology. We're going to take thermal readings, Gauss and EMF readouts, EVPs, video footage, and then we'll do a photography rundown. There's a lot of energy here. Previous owners, people who've been here, have had ghostly experiences. I'll have Tammy talk about some of her experiences. She spends a lot of time here alone. A lot of the employees that come in and out of the house here have some experiences. There always is a lot of banging, like something's banging. Now, I'm not saying there can't be no rodents. However, there's a basement door. You can't really see it, but I will give you a tour. There's a basement door. There's a room back there which is pretty creepy. But the door to go upstairs is right here. You close the basement door, it opens on its own. It's got a latch, so that's one of the things that occurs down here in the basement, is that door continuously open. Sometimes they'll throw boxes down the stairs to store things. The boxes disappear. There's banging on the ceiling. Bang, bang, bang. I've heard it. I cannot discount the stories. A lot of credible stories as well. The one girl had called Tammy and was like, it won't stop. Something keeps banging and banging and banging. Yeah, Tammy's like, I've never heard it, but then the other day ago, it happened. And she's like, it wasn't long, but you could hear a couple bangs coming from down here. So that's another occurrence. And of course, apparitions have been seen here. Now, the original owners, this house was built in 1940. 1940. And it was owned by a Geraldine and a Walter Sparks. When the house was sold, I know that in the 70s, the Forbush family had owned it, and I guess the woman's husband had passed away, and she tried to sell the home, and it ended up back in her hands. She tried to sell it again. I believe one time, one of the sales was $10. It's very strange that most people only been here a year or two, and anybody who's ever been here has seen an apparition, has had some kind of paranormal activity. It's a real haunted house. Something could be down here with me right now. I've already gotten some Gauss readings. Are you here with me? Give me a sign you're here. They're pretty high for being just a basement, a dingy basement. The readings are high, but there is there are cords and there are power lines and such. Now, what I did is I left the camera running for 20 minutes. It's not 20 minutes to a half hour with me not being down here. I'm gonna tell you a little something. This home has surveillance cameras on the property, and I'm able to view the surveillance cameras any time of night if I want to view them. And we had something move in front of the camera once, but another time, one of the cameras, now this camera's stationary, it does not move. It was shaking back and forth in this basement. Something was moving it. Now, nobody has access to this place. It has alarms, it has cameras. Tammy has the keys to this house. Therefore, What could have been causing it? We don't know. There's been a stain of blood, cabinets opening up, things falling out, things being moved around, noises, apparitions, cold spots, banging in the room, furniture moving around. The list goes on and on and on. And so tonight, it's almost Halloween, we're going to bring you a nice paranormal investigation. Parapsychology is a big part of what we do and who the Paranormal and Ghost Society is. And people just they don't realize it. They don't realize that what we do here is very important. Yeah, I'm in costume and all that. This is not really a costume, this is a way of life for me. However, what they don't realize is that we take our work very serious. I've been doing this for years. And there are always some places that stand out more than other places. This is one of them. This place stands out because I've had real experiences. This is not some TV show or cheap entertainment or anything faked to get ratings or YouTube videos. We're doing this to educate you. This is going to be on the National Registry of Historic Places. So is it a relevant house? It is. I cannot give you any more information other than tell you it is. Originally, the original owners were the Sparks. And so I had to do some research because I feel if I talk to them by name, we'll get a better response if they're still here. Or the Four Bushes, the woman that lived here, her husband had passed away, and I believe in this house. So I believe there's more than one entity here. There's different types of activity in different parts of the house, which usually signifies there may be more than one ghost. And I'm in this basement by myself, and you're only seeing a small part of the basement. I will give you a much more in-depth tour. We have a prologue video I'll be putting together, and then we'll have the actual investigation, which is tonight. So let me go ahead. Let's get on with the investigation. Check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. We'll be hosting pictures, nature, photography, the team gallery, little history on the home, even a picture of what it looked like 20, 30 years ago. The house has been renovated and remodeled, and people coming in and out kind of stirs up the ghost. That used to be a server room. Servers are gone. Things get stirred up. And so the activity may be on a rise for a while until the entities and then Tammy and a couple of her employees learn how to live together or learn how to coexist between each other. That's the key with hauntings, coexisting. If you don't get along with the ghost, the haunting is going to be intensified. You're not getting along, you're not accepting of it. If you're more accepting of this, you're going to not only be able to communicate with these entities, but you're going to be able to get the best evidence. But you're also going to learn how to live with them and work with them without them bothering you and you bothering them. It's a little about respect as well. And I've been dealing with ghosts a long time. The Paranormal Ghost Society, we've opened our doors for almost 15 years now, and we've kept our website running just as long. And when you do hundreds, thousands of investigations, you kind of get it's like becoming a mason and building a wall or carving an epitaph. You get good at it because we put our heart and our soul into this. We're not here to entertain like you watch these TV shows and they fake evidence for ratings and money and so that they can line their pockets. And these ghost tour sites are not investigators. They just want to rake up the money off people getting scared and thrills and frills. But we're going to give you an actual real haunting. This is an all-American haunting that I'm about to give you guys. And so take it with great appreciation because this opportunity does not come along too often to be able to be a part of this investigation and our project and what we do. And hopefully this will be a two-stage investigation. We'll do one this month and then maybe we'll do one next year to kind of see if the hauntings have reduced or if they've increased. It's possible after tonight's investigation, the hauntings may increase because now I'm acknowledging them and I'm making them aware. They know that I know they exist. They know that I know they exist. And so it kind of helps Because if you can communicate with them and they can communicate with you, you can find out who they are, what they want. Are they nice? Are they demeaning? Do they want us here? I don't think they're harmful. I think that they've just decided to take up permanent residency because they've spent so much time in this home and maybe passed away in this house. The previous individuals that we talked to had seen a lady here, and they didn't have to tell me it was a lady. I knew it was a woman the first time I walked in because I heard her in the basement and nobody was here. So, shall we get on with the show? This is Lord Rick. It's time to do a little ghost busting. Hopefully we get some good evidence, but the thing you gotta know about hauntings, sometimes a place can be haunted on a given night as opposed to another night, nothing. Dates, times, places are very relevant when you're dealing with spirits. People don't really understand that. So I'm going to try to be as thorough as I can, and we're going to hope for the best. I'm going to put my skills to the test, so we're going to see if we can get any apparition photos, anything on film. We've got a couple things on the surveillance cams which warranted this investigation further besides some personal experiences, and then we're going to interview Tammy. So make sure you check out her site and show your support. This is all done out of the heart. Not about money, not about entertainment. It's to educate the public and to expose the truth. We hope you enjoy our film, and we hope you enjoy this 1940 built historical home where the dearly departed roam its halls. This is your founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society, Lord Rick, aka AngelOfThyNight, producer, talk show host of AngelOfThyNight Radio, paranormal investigator, author, bringing you one fantastic paranormal investigation in October of 2015. If Geraldine and Walter Sparks are here with me at this present time, give me a sign that you are here. Please talk into the recorder, any kind of sign. Make something move. Validate that you're here with me, please. It's very important, ladies and gentlemen, that when you deal with these entities that you actually physically talk to them. When I work with spirits and I work with entities, I treat them the way I'd want to be treated. After all, they were human at some point in time. Being human or physical is just a stage in our lives. There are further stages beyond our physical being. And you don't always get results, but it is very important to try to talk to them and at least acknowledge that they're here. And they'll treat you right as well. I don't expect things to be flying past my head, but I'm running an EVP recorder, and if I want to get any EVPs, it is just so important that you talk to them, and they'll talk back. I'm here by myself. Tammy's upstairs doing some work, and I'm downstairs in the basement. And so at this point, hopefully the recorder will pick up what we can't hear. A lot of cobwebs. It's a basement. Straight up. I really can't. We know this works. See that? It's a 10. That's how you validate that this is working the way it's supposed to be working. There's a lot of wires and electricity running through this room, so we cannot take Gauss readings. There'd be a lot of people who would try to play a trick and would try to keep the camera real low and hold the camera on there and say, well, look, we got EMF, but I'm being real with everyone and telling you, we cannot take EMF and Gauss readings. You have these overhead lights, which all this produces electromagnetic energy. Therefore, you have to discount it. But other parts of the house where the lights are off and so forth, we can consider those readings, and it is the possibility of being something caused by the paranormal or the unseen. So we'll keep on with this investigation. Good things will come, but we're going to have to get every nook, cranny, and be very thorough in our investigation methodology, our investigative practices, by taking one room at a time and taking readings and EVPs, and hopefully we'll get some temperature changes in certain areas. Geraldine and Walter, are you here? Are you here, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks? Please let me know if you're here. Seems the basement is the focal point for most of the activity. It's dingy, it's dark, it's out of the way, and I can understand spirits may come to rest in certain places like these where they're not so much bothered. Because a lot of people here are in and out, and they may not like that. When they see eternal peace, a lot of spirits like that peace. They don't like to be around thousands and thousands of people. They like to be more kept to themselves. And sometimes, they become active, and when it's quiet here, it's easy to pick up on those type of things. But it all starts, for some reason, in the basement. And there's another 2 rooms upstairs, which appear to be also focal points of interest for activity as well. Interesting. We also get a 10 here. It's possible, what it is, you see you have this electrical line. So we can't really take ghost readings down here, but we can take EVPs, we can take photography, and I'll tell you what else we can take. Let me see here. Check our temperature gauge. See if we get any fluctuation. 66 degrees. Just make note of it. It's 66 degrees down here. So when we come back down next time, we'll see if that's changed with me communicating with the spirits, if they're here at the present moment, and see if the temperature fluctuates or drops drastically. It's a real paranormal investigation of the 1940 Sparks home. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to mosey on upstairs. Like I said, it is near Halloween. We'll take it room by room before I start doing photography and more in-depth EVPs. It's after midnight. It's the witching hour. Very quaint, small kitchen. These historic homes never had really large kitchens. Like I said, renovations were made, parts of the home were added on, which could have stirred up a lot of the activity. But you have to ask yourself, why? Now this is unusual. It's beyond a 10. This is a bathroom. I've never had a bathroom ever read out more than a 2 or a 3. But you have to ask yourself, did the renovations stir up some of the activity? You add new rooms onto a home, and sometimes that's what happens. You have something that's resting up like in the basement, up in the crawl space. They add onto the house. Next you know, the house becomes a major haunting for a while. In other words, most houses that aren't really haunted are dead cells. There's just nothing going on. There might be ghosts there, but it's all quiet. And then you make some drastic renovations, and the house kind of comes alive and wakes up. This room seems to have some activity. There was a red blood spot. I guess I'll let Tammy tell you more about it, but it was the oddest thing. It was on the floor, and just I told her it could be blood. It's not like you're going to taste it, but a red spot in here is a conference room. Doesn't make no sense as to why there would be any kind of spot. Everything's decorated really heavy. That's why I waited till October to do this place, because they did such a good job decorating, and it just goes perfect with the whole parapsychology type of investigation. This cabinet had, if you look, see how there's items on the bottom? Well, twice Tammy was here by herself, and the doors opened up and the items were on the floor. So do we want to focus on this room? You bet. There's a lot of lights in here, so again, we kind of have to discount the Gauss readings in this room. The bathroom, on the other hand, is higher than this room, so I'm a little suspicious. I think parts of the house do have some solid readings. I do think something's here with us, and it's probably like, what's this guy doing? But it's seen me more than once, and it's obviously it's made its presence known with me a couple times, which is why this place is a good candidate for a paranormal investigation. Because they've already let me know they're here, and that was before I've even investigated it. So you've gotten to see the bathroom, the conference room, the basement, this little foyer area. You can go left, right, or straight down. There's also 3 to 4 exits out of this home. So in case anybody gets a little spooked, they could just like run out one of the doors. Of course, you never want to panic during a paranormal investigation. You just want to go with the flow. You're here to research and study it and not run. If you run, you can't learn about what haunts it. Very steep stairs. Very steep. So yeah, you got to be dangerous. Ghosts can push. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they not run by you, but their energy, and sometimes that energy just whoosh goes past you, and if you're not holding onto the railing or something, you might end up falling, and it may have never meant to hurt you. Just accidents happen, so you do got to be careful when dealing with the paranormal. Always use safety. Always use common sense when you're dealing with the paranormal and you're dealing with entities. And I've been doing this work a long time, so I try to install with my investigators a lot of times safety and how to be safe and how to work with these entities, but in a respectful manner. Respect's everything in this field. There we go. Now I can see, I won't trip. So now we have the main den area. You have the fireplace, the big doors and windows. The decorations are wonderful here. It's awesome. To be able to investigate the paranormal, my favorite time of year, and to see such beautiful decorations surrounding me while I'm looking to communicate with the dearly departed is kind of an honor. Really, it's just like, wow, I couldn't ask for a better October investigation. And we've had a great month. The ghost town of Dixie Valley, the old Story County Courthouse and Jail, the Comstock Gold Mill in Virginia City. And then we have the Sparks Home and Silver Terrace Cemeteries up at Boot Hill in Virginia City. We're going there on Halloween night to investigate it. This has been a very busy month. Very busy. We've been very productive. We've done nothing but solid paranormal ghostly investigations. We even had an encounter with a scarecrow, an actual scarecrow out in the middle of some ranch land. It moved. I had to go up to it. It was just stuffed. It was just a scarecrow, but it moved. I have pictures. It moved. So it's been a strange month. Then we found we found these tracks that had 3 toes with massive claws, like it was a velociraptor. I can't explain what those tracks were. It's been a very paranormal month, and we've kind of encountered all sorts of paranormal, and we're hoping to top it off near Halloween with some spooks. So this is the den. Readings seem to be very high. Look at that. That's beyond a 10. That's not even a 10. That's like a 12. It only goes up to 10. I don't know if these lights cause it. I've done investigations with these kind of lights. I've gone in some major places, and this never goes off at a 10. You can stand near a power pole and maybe get an 8. This is crazy. But there is a lot of power that fluctuates through here, and entities also give a lot of energy. I have no doubt they're with me, and I have no doubt I'll get EVPs. Sometimes I'm by myself and I'll get females talking in a recorder out in the middle of nowhere. It happens, man, it happens. So the den, and it's very odd, because if it was the lights causing it, then why, for example, why does it jump around to like 5 or 6 and then back up to 10? Look at that, 10, 10, 10. I shouldn't say 10. I should more or less say it's the milligauss is in the danger levels. So because now it's at a, see, it just fluctuated. I only took like a few inch step and like just moved it a few inches. It's very odd. Because the whole room should be like this, since the lights are throughout the whole room. Very hard to tell. But we'll make note of it. So next room, which is probably the creepiest room of all, because this room's never really been renovated. Okay, we have this room here. It's just a small room. It's very small. But this room appears to be original for the most part. I mean, you can even see the windows are quite old here. What I like about this property is we're up by the mountains. So all day long you'll have bucks and fawns, and you get a lot of deer that come up here. And they bring their young. The does bring their young to feed off the apple trees. There's a lot of fruit trees in this area, and the bucks will reach over the fence and they'll pull apples down. I took a bunch of pictures one night. I should have videotaped them, but it was kind of dark. But I came back the next day and there was a doe with her fawns, and they were just walking around the property trying to pick some apples off the ground. But we'll go back in here and I'll show you. This is the room that creeps everyone out. And I've heard movement and things moving around in this room here. I was putting together a desk and I'm like, hello? I came out of there. I'm like, anybody there? And I slowly came up to the room. There was nobody in here. There was nothing. Something was moving around in this room. My son stood in the closet and he's like, maybe I shouldn't have did that closet. If Geraldine and Walter are here, give me a sign you're here. Please make your presence known to me. I know you exist. You know I exist. We can't hide from each other. You've already made your presence known before, so tonight would be the best night for you to be able to do that. So we have the closet. Now we shouldn't get any readings at all, but again, it's past a 10. We don't have a lot of electricity. There's no computers or servers or anything. You have the light. And I guarantee you, even if I shut off the light, we're still probably going to get a high reading here. Look at that. No lights on in here. Look at that. That's a 12. I turned off the light because that's the only source of electricity. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This place has a lot of oddities about it, especially that most people have been here, don't stay very long. Who buys a historical home for $300,000 just to move 2 years later? Not me. I ain't afraid of no ghost. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people are, because they're not educated about that ghosts are conscious beings, and they don't understand. And once you understand what ghosts are and what they can do, and what transpires after death, it becomes a lot easier to live with them. And a lot of people don't know how to live with them, and that's why we have a paranormal site. That's why we have a website. That's why we do projects like these, because we're trying to help people understand about what the afterlife is and how it works, so that you can learn, and that way if you have an experience, it won't freak you out as bad. You'll understand what you're dealing with. But we have the closet. But look at that. Readings in the closet. We want to do a good job at this place. I treat every place like they're my baby. Every place is relevant. Every place is important. So, okay, go ahead. Next we have this room here. I call this the foyer room. There's a couple foyers. Like I said, renovation's been made, walls been taken down and added. It's very tight back in this home. I mean, you're not going to see very large rooms. This is a typical 1940s historic home where the rooms are kind of small. You have some of the old windows still, you know. Look, ivy growing, covering the windows. But the foyer it's not a focal point of hauntings, but we still have to cover every aspect of the home. Just a typical little room. Not any bigger for one or two people just to walk through or stand here. But you have the copy machine, you have a couple cupboards. That's all. Little bookshelf. I'm sure one of these days we'll find papers all strung about here. It's, like I say, that kind of thing is pretty common in this home. And all these rooms connect. Like you go in one room and have a back way out of that room. It makes it very easy for these entities to kind of move around and not be seen. Of course, if you open up your mind, it's very possible to see the paranormal. If you're in tune and you're paying attention to it. A lot of people get so frightened of it that they shun it, and in the end that kind of pisses off the entities because they're trying to reach out and let you know they're here, and yet you have a bunch of people that are just like so uptight, it makes the entities just as uptight as well. So now you got a little bit of a gist of what the home is about. And I'm still not done. I'm going to take you to some other areas. I've done some outside filming. I've also done a prologue film during the day. It's nighttime. You can tell it's dark outside. That way people can get a nice long film and tour of the home and some educational information. And I'll take it, like I said, I'll take it room by room, and then we'll do our photography. I'll do some more EVPs. And then we'll be done with this investigation. And I haven't really heard anything, but I'll tell you what, there was a point in the basement when I was standing there talking to you guys, I felt like something came briefly and was like right down on my neck. I felt it right there. And it was brief. But I mean, where are they going to go? It's not a very large house, and you're sitting there going room to room and covering every nook and cranny. You're kind of either going to force it out or it's going to stand there and stare at you and be like, what is this guy even doing? That's the truth. Now we step into this office. Oh, I just got a blast of cold air. This office is colder than the rest of the house. I wonder why that is. Office room, call it whatever you want. But we step into this room. This room's extremely cold. And it's nothing special. Like I said, the rooms are very small in this house. And I don't know if there's any activity in this room, but I do know that this room always seems colder than the rest of the house. That's why I'm taking you guys in here real brief. And I have to take readings in every room. Let's see what we got here. Look at that. There's hardly any readings in this room, but yet the bathroom has a reading of like 10 to 12. So now you get kind of an idea. Some things don't add up with this home. And we'll get to the bottom of it. We will. And hopefully I can obtain some of that surveillance video to include in this film and show you that there's the surveillance cams moving around in the basement. That's a camera that don't move. I secured it. And the thing's moving front and back. Does not have a zoom. I mean, it doesn't have a zoom lens that goes back and forth. Therefore, the camera should not be shaken at all. But it is. It is. I've watched it and I cannot explain it. Just little things like that. If you pay attention, you'll notice it. There is activity here of the paranormal kind. It's here. Trust me, it's already happened. So this room, we'll close the lights. It's much colder. I'll take a temperature reading later. Got a blast of cold air in my face, like something came past me. And the readings are not as high, so maybe whatever is left and went back down to the basement. However, in 3 or 4 rooms so far, the readings are off the chart. A nice cozy office here. Now this room doesn't seem to have a lot of activity, but I will say one thing. This closet, I will say one thing, that this closet that you see, has there ever been anything with this closet? The door opened once on its own, huh?
Yeah. It's not creepy like the closet in that wood room.
Yeah, I know. I went in there and the reading went to a 12. It's not supposed to go to 12. It's supposed to go to 10. It doesn't go past 10. The closet had 12. Yet the rest of the houses had maybe 9 or 10. So that's really high. That closet's really high.
Yeah.
The reason why ghosts like closets is because generally after death, most spirits like peace and quiet, like peace, like eternal peace. So when people start putting stuff in closets, opening and closing them, they don't really like that much. And they start getting yancy and opening closet doors and leaving them open because they don't usually close doors after them. So let's see, we'll take some readings here. You got about an 8 or 9. You got the PC running.
2 PCs running.
2 PCs are running. You were about 8 or 9. And you got about a 3. This is the lowest reading I've gotten. Oh, look, the needle's moving on its own. It just went down to like a 2, a 3, a 5, back down to a 4. And I didn't even move. Interesting. I'm impressed with this property and this home. Because some of the readings I get, I don't have an explanation for. The fluctuations are very odd and random. Where's the light? Oh. Then we come in this room. This was a new room added, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because it's much different than the rest of the home. Okay, so we have this room. Recently, not too recent, but it was an add-on to the home. The original house. Has cross beams. A very pointy ceiling, but vaulted compared to the rest of the home. You can tell. And you wouldn't really expect to have much activity. It's possible. I mean, if the ghosts can be in one room, they could be in the next room in just that instant. They move much faster than you or I. It's conscious energy. It could travel at nearly the speed of light. People don't realize that. But there's a lot of science that goes into parapsychology and what we do. And it's a study. It's an education. an educational topic, what we do here. And it is very important what we do, because people have to have hope that there's an afterlife, that there's something more than just living your physical years. And I don't know if there's any activity in this room, because I'm not here enough to experience it. But like I say, it's important to be thorough, so if we investigate the house, we may get a surprising EVP here out of the rest of the home, because maybe it'll stay at here because it expects me to be in other parts of the house. Now, these entities are not afraid to make themselves known. So I expect to get some EVPs tonight. I've gotten some readings. We'll see what the photos reveal. The thing about the paranormal, it's going to make itself known when you least expect it. Like if I'm sitting here talking to Tammy or hanging out and I don't have my equipment on me, then all of a sudden it's like, whoa. I always try to bring my equipment now. Mediocre readings, about a 10, 9 or a 10. It was up to, and now it's back down to a 7 or 8. So you can see there is some fluctuations within the home. I've seen the needle bounce around a little. Love yard sales. It's a nice painting. Yard sales have great paintings. So we'll leave this room for now, because I want to go ahead and I want to walk around and do some temperature readouts as well. And then we'll do our photography session. The EMF portion of the investigation is done. Like I said, I'll take it step by step. But it is important we educate people. That was very weird. Because the truth is people need to know and have hope that there's something more that transpires. And that's what we bring people, is hope. Because we've proven that ghosts exist, the afterlife exists, before TV shows came out, and TV shows aren't real. I've worked on the set. Let me come in here, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to show you this, but this is the other bathroom. And look at that. When I first turned it on, the needle was jumping like crazy. It's just a bathroom. And obviously the bathroom has been here originally. It's not like it's been added such as the other smaller bathroom. And then we have another closet. It's a good sized closet. Oh. High readings again. I'm thinking some of the lights cause it to go off, but then there's other rooms I've been in with similar lights that have very low mediocre readings. So it's hard to say. But we're going to get on with the photography portion. I'm going to do an EVP session, which is a little different than just walking around with the recorder. It's where I physically talk in each room and address the entity. And hopefully they'll tell me their name or speak back. If it's a female, she might tell me her name. It could be Geraldine Sparks. What was her husband's name again?
Walter.
Oh, yeah. It could be Geraldine Sparks or Walter. I want to focus on those names because I believe that maybe since someone's heard a male and I've heard a female, I'm thinking that it's probably a couple that decided to live their days in this home. When you love a house and you pass away, sometimes you choose to stay in that house. That's home even in the afterlife. And for some spirits, it's all they have left to hold on to is that home. And when people make changes and do things in life where they come in and add on to the home, they might be like, no, we don't like that. They might fuss around a little. Doesn't make it evil. It's just like humans have disagreements. And sometimes they might agree, and they're just trying to reach out and be like, hey, I'm here, we agree with you, you're taking good care of the place. So you got to look at things with positive as well. But what we're going to do is we want to do a wonderful project with this place. We want to treat it as like our baby, because we want people to realize that this is a real haunting. This is not something you see on sci-fi's Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures, where someone's got a string and they're pulling on something to make things move, or giving away exaggerated stories for ratings so that way in the next season they get a $10,000 bonus. It doesn't work that way here. We're here to educate and give people a little bit of insight about hauntings and how they work. So this is not the focal point of the activity in the house, but this is the main den. You enter the front doors and you come in here, and then it kind of splits off in multiple directions, as you can see. All these different doorways. So we're going to take some temperature readings. I'll do an EVP session. We'll do some photography. And then we'll wrap up this wonderful investigation. We're a couple days from All Hallows Eve. It's your founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society, Lord Rick.
According to the thermostat right here, it's 67 degrees in this place.
It says,
I just turned the heat up to 70.
I've taken 3-4 readings. I've
Now
gotten
there's a vent right there.
Yeah, no, I just put it out of my pocket, but it should read it instantly, and it's not. I'll move it over here just in case.
Can I shred these real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. There's been some temperature fluctuations. I've had 61, 77. I've also had 69. Different rooms, different temperatures. This house has a lot of patchy spots. Some rooms are colder than others. It is an older house. However, it was weird because in your office, it changed 5 degrees within a couple minutes when we first had arrived. And usually temperatures don't do that even in a house. See, now it's going down. We're down to 73.9. So there are some patchy cold spots here. Interesting. We're outside. We're doing the outside portion of the home. It's pretty dark out here. However, my camera has special features, so even if it's pitch black, I don't even have to use a flash in some circumstances, and it'll look like it's 7, 8 o'clock at night instead of 3 in the morning. Just want to show you what the property looks like outside the home. That's why I'm running the video camera real quick, just to kind of give you an idea how it's all wide open. There's no drapes. You can see right into the kitchen, the conference room, the den or great room, call it whatever you want, foyer, entrance, main entrance. But you can look in and you could easily see this bush looks like a person. It's not. It's not a bush. It's more of it's a small fern tree or pine. But still, it's human size. So when you look out the window, you're like, oh, someone's standing there. But it's not. It's just there's a lot of vines and trees and shrubs that grow around the property. But it's well decorated for Halloween. There's a lot of ghosts and goblins and spiders and spider webs. They did a great job with this place. It kind of adds to there's a big rock. It adds to the excitement of the investigation. Even if we don't get any ghost pictures, we certainly got plenty of pictures of October decor, Halloween decor. Yesterday was the last supermoon of the year. There won't be another one till October of next year. It was the best and largest supermoon. It was cloudy and hazy like tonight. It's cloudy and hazy and dark. But I'll take a few more pictures outside, and I'm going to take about 15 more minutes and do a few more EVPs and temperature readouts, and we'll wrap up with the investigation. It's been a good night. There has been some mild activity. That's what we wanted. A little bit of activity, and what'll top off my night is if we get some EVPs, some ghostly voices that are not voices that derive from Tammy or myself. This was the old wallpaper Tammy was talking about. This is the original room. I turn on the light so you can see it better. But here you go. A lot of water damage or aging. It's very yellowish in color. That's pretty creepy. If you didn't know that was there, you'd think a person was sitting there. Happy Halloween. So we're about to wrap up the investigation. I think I've done the best job I could possibly do. And as you guys know, the paranormal's a hit and miss. You can be the best paranormal investigator in the world, but not every place is haunted. Not every place has activity when you want it to happen. All you can do is fight the good fight and just continue to be vigilant and persistent, and it will pay off in the end if you want to prove a place is haunted. And I know this place is haunted. And I've had a few little things happen. I've thought I heard some footsteps. I know I heard something on the other side of the house, like something fell over, but there's nothing to signify that. There's been a few patchy cold spots, some readings, everything you'd expect in a true haunting. But we started off in the basement, and I'm finishing in the basement. I just got done doing the outside, and it's a lovely night. Moon's out, but it's hazy, it's cloudy. We're starting to get signs of an early winter, rain, snow flurries, things of that sort. We need it. But you could picture this place would probably be pretty wicked to wait out a storm. Tammy always says this room's kind of creepy. It's just an empty room, but this is the coldest room in the home itself. But make sure you check out our site for investigations like these. Everything from caverns to catacombs to castles to houses to scenic locations and ghost towns and locations that are off limits. Dealing with ufology, cryptozoology, parapsychology, the strange, weird, miracles, hauntings, monsters, legends, conspiracies, and lore. www.paranormalghostsociety.org. This is Lord Rick, your gateway to the unknown and all things strange. It's been a very successful investigation, and we'll continue to monitor this place through the years for its hauntings and everything it has to offer. This place is full of surprises, and it just keeps on giving. As time goes on, the hauntings become more intensified, and you never know what you're going to get. We're at the Sparks Estate. This goes under the estate. It's not very exciting, and it's hard to get back in there. But since there's a lot of activity in the basement, it's important to look at every little nook and cranny. Sometimes this basement floods due to rains. It's another thing I want to make note of. Not that that's paranormal, but it just adds to all the strange things that happen here. A flooded basement and these wires probably is not a good combination. I want to show everybody, and in the prologue we took you back here, but I'm going to take you back here one last time since it is at night, very late at night, around 2-3 a.m. now. Oh, things are getting loud with the water heater. Oh. Just another area. Just trying to figure out where these banging and these sounds are coming from. Maybe in these small spaces under the house? I don't know. It's just very strange to have something like this. I guess that's so you can access the heating and cooling system and insulation and wiring. Here's something I just discovered that's a little strange. be the purpose of that? Did it serve as some kind of safe? Look, you could even lock it. Just built into the cinder blocks. It's pretty interesting. Like I said, it's a very interesting home and estate. But we're about to wrap on up. Just thought I'd give you an inside look at some of the hidden features that not a lot of people know about. A lot of people don't pay mind that are here to these type of things, but I do. As a paranormal investigator, you gotta be... Whoa, that just fell down, hit me in the back. That's a blooper. I got spooked the hell out of, thought something was grabbing me. It just fell, that's all that was. But there's a lot of little hidden features. That's what I love being an explorer and an investigator, is you know you're thorough when you find things other people have never seen or noticed here. So a very successful investigation. Can't really say it was our first investigation. I've been here a couple times working on putting together this project. But I will say one thing. This estate or home, never a disappointment. Never a disappointment. This is a real haunted location. And there isn't that many. A lot of people, you get a piece of dust, anything they get, or if they don't get anything, they got to make something up to make it look like they're doing something. But I don't have to push the haunted issue or exaggerate things. You guys seen that in the video. I don't know if you're paying attention, but one of the ghost lights that's on the desk, hanging off the desk, fell onto the floor. Is that a Kleenex or a ghost?
It's a ghost.
What the hell? That wasn't there before. I was just standing here.
Did it fall off the lights?
Maybe, but it shouldn't have fallen off, man. Yeah, maybe that's the sign I was looking for. Why we're talking about some of the stories pertaining to this. And you gotta look, as a paranormal investigator, we have to look for signs. Signs is validation when you investigate. And everything is based on evidence, not just feelings alone, but concrete evidence. And that's how we're a scientific organization. We don't put our beliefs into specks of dust and so forth. When we do these locations, we make sure that when we do them, we put out evidence, because the evidence speaks for itself. And there are many sacrifices you have to make. Being in a damp basement alone in the dark, walking around 20 times back and forth taking EVPs. But in the end, when you get results, it's one of the most spectacular feelings in the world, because it lets me know I'm doing something. I'm taking this field to a whole new level, and I'm not just getting a piece of dust and saying, hey, we did our jobs. Got to do more than that. And I'm an old school paranormal investigator. I don't need a lot of tools. Nice EMF reader, EVP recorder, good camera. I'm good, I'm golden. Thermal detector, that's all you really need. I don't trust spirit boxes. Everything nowadays is about money, fame. And there's a lot of people giving this field a bad name, but I don't get paid to do this. So I have fun doing what I do, and at the same time, I take what I do very seriously, because history means something to me. And we're more than a paranormal group. We're in an urban exploration group, adventure, paranormal research, history. We cover so many aspects, and we put it all together, we collaborate it, it meshes, and by the time the project's finally done, we actually have a decent, healthy case that we can share with the public, and they could have fun, be entertained, and learn something in the process. But we're out of here. It just wrapped up in the basement. Like I said, we started off in the basement, we finished in the basement, folded up the tripod, took a few readings here and there. I feel pretty confident that my recorder has gotten some EVPs. And we want to thank Tammy, because we would never know about this place or its hauntings if it wasn't for her. And we'll continue in the future to monitor the hauntings?
Because you could see where the female granted, you know, did a quit claim to the deed. So.
Did you hear that? What was that? That was across the house, in the house. Sounded like a cup or something, like a plastic cup falling or something. That type of sound.
I don't know. I heard it. I thought it was like the phone. The phone every now and again makes a funny noise, but you're right. It was quite a ways away. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes even talking about such things can stir up activity. You know, I got such cold air up in this room. Oh, the light? Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
What is that?
Is it flickering right now?
Yeah, you see it?
I have to get closer. Oh yeah. Hold on.
Why does it do that? I think there's an electrical issue.
A short? Is it doing it?
Yeah.
My camera's not picking it up. Let me try to hold the camera closer. I mean, I do see it flickering. I don't know. The light's just flickering. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Now I have it on camera. It keeps flickering. A short maybe, but I'm not. That could be dangerous. That could cause a fire if it's a short. It could be a bad bulb. But if the power is off, it shouldn't be flickering. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be doing that. Ghosts can also cause power fluctuations, like with light bulbs in certain castles and haunted houses. The lights will flicker.
Here's the weird thing about that is, for whatever reason, I'm the only one that ever noticed it before.
You're meticulous.
Even during the day, when her light's off, you don't see anything flickering.
Just at night?
It's dark, yeah.
Yeah. We'll continue to monitor the hauntings and any activity, and I'll continuously update the different things that happen. If something mind-blowing happens here, I'll let you know. But investigation, our prologue, investigation 1's complete. Next year, I'll do one final investigation. And we'll wrap up and close our case with this estate. You're here live at the Sparks Estate, built in 1940. Historical, haunted, and strange. If the ghosts don't get you, this creepy doll will. What is this, a gypsy? The lipstick's black, the nose is bigger than her face, and man, this thing looks possessed. This is officially wins the award for the most creepy Halloween decoration. Isn't it even Halloween, or is this just some, I don't know, weird? All right, we can go.
Wow. Moved my. Did you move this?
No. Things do move around on their own. Creepy. Thing looks like the eyes are looking at me no matter where I walk.
Coffee?
Oh man, yeah. Coffee. That's creepy. That's like some old witch. You know, like the old looking witches from 100 years ago. Wow. In the dark, because I have film with the light, but in the dark it's even creepier. It just looks like it's looking at me. That thing, if anything, that's more creepy than the ghost here, you know? Won't want that on my dresser when I'm sleeping. Ay, 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 madonna mia. Pasa bazoo.